This 35-year-old ash tree in my front yard is kind of like an old friend. But sad to say, it's been quite sick for a while, and my tree expert says it's really too far gone to save. So, reluctantly, I've decided to have it taken down. And Rich Ferreira is the guy to do it. Now, Rich loves trees, and I think he's as comfortable hanging off a rope 50 feet in the air as he is standing on solid ground. His first task is to cut away several large branches on the side of the tree that will strike the ground first. He does this to minimize the damage when the falling tree hits my lawn. To further protect my grass, he lays several cut-off limbs side by side. Next, Rich makes a wedge-shaped cut in the direction he wants the tree to fall. Then saws a second cut on the opposite side. These cuts, plus a guideline, allow him to drop the tree exactly where he wants it. As you can see, the limbs he put down earlier have kept the tree from burying itself in my turf. While Rich and his helpers start trimming off and grinding the smaller limbs and branches, I mark cut lines on the trunk. I may have lost my tree, but I've come up with a way to remember it.
Well, my tree's gone, and I don't feel too good about that. But I was able to salvage the trunks, and you know what? I'm going to have this sawn into lumber using this portable sawmill.
Dave Scott has been a sawyer for more than 20 years. Today, he and his partner Kyle Cheeley are about to turn tree trunks into timber, right here on my front lawn. This tool is essentially a really big bandsaw that travels back and forth on a rail. We start by making two cuts on the top of the log. In a way, it's like opening an oyster in search of a pearl.
But it's a surprise. Every board
log,
is a surprise.
Every log, you just never know how it's going to open up. This is very pretty. If you look over around this one knot.
This is very nice.
Yeah, it's beautiful. And it's sound, too.
Dave rotates the log a quarter turn, and we cut the second side. This time, I'm at the controls. After each pass, I lower the saw blade anywhere from 1.25 inches to 1.5 inches, depending on how thick I want the boards. After one more turn, we're about to reduce our once circular log to a rectangular beam. Finally, we clamp several of the boards into the mill bed vertically, so we can cut away the bark and end up with a straight edge.
Now, out of that single log, I got all of this lumber and only that small amount of scrap. That's why they call that sawmill the wood miser. Well, my tree has gone from logs to lumber, but before I can build anything out of this, I've got to dry it. Now, the ends of a plank dry out more quickly than the center, so I'm applying some latex paint to slow down the drying on the ends and prevent cracking, which could cause me to lose some really useful lumber. Now, these small pieces of wood right here are called stickers. I've put them between each of the planks. Now, that's going to create a space in there that will allow air to circulate and cause the boards to dry evenly. Now, I've stacked the stickers right on top of each other to prevent any of the boards from bowing, and I started out by putting the bottom boards on a level surface made up of these 4x4s down here. For right now, the whole idea is to dry this lumber without cracking, warping, or splitting. Now, that's going to take a few months. In the meantime, I can figure out what I want to make out of it. How about a doghouse?